Good evening, everyone. We're going to get started in just about a minute, so I welcome everyone to take your seats for this very exciting event this evening.
Therese.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maria D'Agostino Crawford, and I am a proud graduate of the Springfield College class of 1991. I am privileged to serve you this evening as the Interim Director of Alumni Relations here at Springfield College, and I am thrilled to welcome you all home this evening. Springfield College has been a part of my life since the fall of 1987, when I first stepped on campus and lived in Reed Hall. Thanks in part to my physical education teacher at Mineola High School, Mark Miller, class of 1980, who always spoke so highly of Springfield College. I still remember my interview, which took place during fifth period lunch in the physical education office, with Coach Miller saying, with tape recorder in hand, "Maria, I'm going to make this sound really good." Who would think 30 plus years later I would be in front of all of you? Beyond my student days, I've been a proud Springfield College volunteer, employee, cousin, aunt, and now proud parent of a Springfield College alumna class of 2024. Welcome home, everyone, and congratulations to our honorees. Your life's accomplishments truly embody our alma mater's humanics philosophy. We are proud that you are members of our college family. At this point, I would like to introduce Cherise DeRoer, class of 1980, who has so graciously volunteered to serve as our Master of Ceremonies this evening. A longtime Springfield College volunteer, Cherise has served on both the Alumni Council and Board of Trustees. She is the 1990 recipient of the Young Alumna Award and received the Tarbell Medallion in 2013. Thank you, Cherise.
Hello, everyone. Please grab a seat and relax. Anyway, I just want, first of all, to acknowledge Maria. Maria is the interim director and is doing 2 full-time jobs and has done an amazing job of organizing this. So please give her a round of applause. Now, back to the ceremony. Welcome home, everyone. I'm deeply honored to be your MC for the 2024 Alumni Awards ceremony. This evening, we'll be honoring 6 members of the Springfield College family. To assume that each individual has the opportunity to express their thoughts on this occasion, each prepared a brief statement which appears in your program booklet. I would also like to take a moment to thank tonight's event sponsor, Loomis Lakeside at Reed's Landing. Now for the moment you've been waiting for. Give a big Springfield greeting and a warm welcome to the introduction of our nominees. They are announced as I call, hang on a second. Oh, what did I lose? Oh, sorry about this. All right. Sorry, I lost my page. Now I've totally ruined the moment. So let's get back into the moment. And welcome to first of all, I would like to introduce, and again, big warm welcome to our Young Alumna Award nominee, Lindsay Hutchinson, class of 2013. And now, the first of our 2 distinguished alumni awardees, Dr. Sean Latta, graduate class of 1985. Our second distinguished alumni honoree this evening is Robert Giletto, graduate class of 1993. Unfortunately, Rob could not be with us in person this evening. Accepting on his behalf, let's welcome Dr. Betty Mann, graduate 74, DPE 84. Our next honoree is a Hall of Alumni Color Achievers inductee, Daniel Smith, class of 60. Daniel passed away exactly 2 years ago today, October 19th, 2022, and is represented this evening by his wonderful family, his widow Loretta Newman, and children D. Robert Smith Jr. and April Montag. Please. Next is our 2024 Tarbell Medallion recipient, Pam Green Pearson, class of 68, graduate 1999. And by the way, look at that jacket. And last but not least, our final 2023 Tarbell Medallion recipient who was unable to be with us in person last year and who we are proud to recognize this year, Kurt Asherman, class of 71. All right, well, now it is my pleasure to introduce Sarah Crowell, who will be providing some thoughts for the evening. A senior athletic training student, Sarah will be continuing on next year to earn a Master's of Science in Athletic Training. Welcome, Sarah.
Good evening, everyone. As members of the Springfield College community, we are gathered here today to celebrate and recognize a few alumni who have continued the Humanics philosophy. We pray that our passion and selflessness is our guiding light in today's society, that we all remain authentic, and that the future is bright for us. We are grateful to be gathered here today and thankful for our Springfield College family who have supported us through our trials and tribulations. Grateful for those who have been by our side and watch us achieve all of our goals. May we continue to live out the Humanics philosophy and remain true to our values and beliefs that Springfield College has instilled in us. May we take a moment to acknowledge all that we have to be appreciative of today, but also every day and elsewhere. Let us be present in this time, but also remember the past and envision our future as we are gathered here tonight. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Sarah. That was perfect. Thank you so much. All right, it is a great pleasure to see us all gathered here this evening, like the family that we are. So please sit back and enjoy while we celebrate with dear friends and renew old acquaintances. I've done a lot of hugging today. I see several of my fellow Alumni Award honorees from years gone by have joined us today. If you are a recipient of the Tarbell Medallion, Distinguished Alumni Award, or Young Alumni Award, or have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Alumni Color Achievers, please stand and be recognized. Okay. All right, now, before we go on to the next program, I would like to introduce Dr. Cooper, who will give us a few words.
Hi, everybody. What a day we have had. I mean, what a beautiful, beautiful day on Alden Street from the very beginning, actually Thursday night when we had a terrific speaker sponsored by two of our alums that really started the weekend perfect. And I can't think of a better way to end this weekend without honoring the inductees tonight. And I look at the list, and you've seen them, and I can't wait to hear more from each of you as you tell your story, especially being back here today, what it means to be back on Springfield College's campus. We are very lucky. We are very lucky to be a part of history here, as well as a part of the story at Springfield College. I just left, that's why I was running a little bit late. The Bugbee Pavilion was dedicated just a few moments ago, and there were well over 200 alumni there, and then all of our current staff and current players, both our men and women's lacrosse players. And to tell you the energy that they felt being here, it just warms my heart as the president to be amongst you and hear your stories and hear about what it means to be a Springfield College alum. And so to each one of our recipients tonight, congratulations. You hold a special place here at Springfield College, and we are delighted to call you one of our own. So let's enjoy the evening. I look forward to raising a glass and cheering each one of you. Thank you much.
Well, this year, just to give you an idea how this is all going to work, we are continuing our tradition which we started in 2018. Student leaders and tomorrow's alumni leaders are going to present each of the honorees. These young people have got to know each award, and will be presenting them in their own words. So, to begin, our first presenter is Dominique LeBranche, class of 2025, a criminal justice major and a student who is instrumental in planning this year's Leadership Training Conference. Dominique will be introducing our Young Alumna recipient, sponsored by the class of 1966. The Young Alumni Award recognizes a member of a class who graduated between 10 and 15 years ago for professional excellence, outstanding service to community, state, and nation, and alma mater. Dominique?
Would Lindsay Hutchinson, class of 2013, please join me at the podium? When I was asked to act as Lindsay Hutchinson's student host for this year's award ceremony, I was honored and excited at the opportunity to connect with an outstanding alumna. I wanted to learn all that I could. Throughout this journey of learning, I was quickly introduced to People's Provisions, an all-local grocery store founded and owned by Lindsay in Perry County, Pennsylvania. People's Provisions is truly Lindsay's baby, and something that, rightfully so, she takes great pride in. People's Provisions partners with like-minded local farmers and food artisans in order to intentionally bring community members together and guarantee quality food access for all. Lindsay ensures that both farmers are paid equitably for their food and that nobody is ever turned down the opportunity to eat sustainable and nutritious food. Lindsay and People's Provisions also donate produce to local schools, offer free delivery services, and host a wide variety of community events. She currently acts as vice president of the board of directors for the Neighbor Helping Neighbor Food Bank and is also a member of the Perry County Economic Development Authority Board of Directors. In talking with Lindsay, I brought up that her post-graduation career seems to mirror Springfield College's deeply held humanics philosophy. I asked her how she is able to keep this philosophy in the forefront of her mind and implement it in her daily life. Her response, "I think that the humanics philosophy just is me now." Lindsay explained that she tries to live her life as if she is still on Alden Street. Her customers deeply respect and appreciate her transparency and honesty. She also implemented a pay-what-you-can policy at People's Provisions, as she believes that everyone deserves access to good food. Lindsay was taught at Springfield College that leadership and service to others is the most important thing in life, and it is her personal goal to show this mission to others. When I was first asked to be Lindsay's student host for this year's award ceremony, I was truly honored and excited. But I never expected to connect with the alumna to the level at which I did. A direct quote from People's Provisions' mission statement is, "There is not one farmer who can feed us all, and there is not one person who can make this world a better, more just, more sustainable place. It takes us all." I believe that this quote speaks to the exact core of who Lindsay is. And honestly, she is probably upset that I have spent this much time of her introduction talking only about her. In her years at Springfield, she had the opportunity to experience and be a part of programs such as Pre-Camp, Leadership Summit, Vagina Monologues, Study Abroad, Leadership Training Conference, A Cappella, and Campus Activities Board. The memories and lessons gifted to Lindsay in these programs are invaluable to her, but nothing matches the love and gratitude that she holds for the people that she met through them. Lindsay told me that if I was going to say anything about her, to speak to the impact that her Springfield College tribe had and continues to have on her, especially those who lived in the Red House. These people and these spaces that Springfield created allowed Lindsay the opportunity to blossom, step into her real self, and begin working her life's mission. At times when talking with Lindsay, I felt like I was looking into a mirror. And I want to personally thank Lindsay for assuring me that the feelings that I have at Springfield College now can and will translate into my own world post-graduation, and for teaching me that I am a true triangle head at heart. Without further ado, my sincerest congratulations and thank you for all that you do to our 2024 Young Alumna Award recipient, Lindsay Hutchinson.
Thank you, Dom. Dom emailed me maybe 2 weeks ago, not even, about a Zoom conversation we would have to get to know each other so that she could write that bio. Literally 5 seconds into that Zoom call, I was like, I know exactly who you are. And we would have been friends if we were here at the same time. We have the same monologue from the Vagina Monologues. Like we were reading the same words here at campus, and yeah, all of our same friends and feelings. Just it's an honor to meet you and to know you. Thank you, Dom. All right, so my name is Lindsay Hutchinson, Springfield College class of 2013. It's an honor of a lifetime to accept the award of Springfield College Young Alumna and to be speaking to all of you today. Thank you to Dom for your introduction, Maria at the Alumni Office for your support throughout this process, the Alumni Council, the class of 1966, and to the professors, staff, faculty, and students whose presence at this college has contributed to my journey as a Springfield College alumni. Thank you to my best friends, my roommates, the Red House, my Green Flames, my fellow classmates, my intramural teammates, my a cappella soul singers, my fellow SAS travelers, my fellow vaginas, the education department, the YMCA office, and everyone I shared time with at Springfield. I am who I am because of you. I have so much gratitude for the class of 1966 for their presentation of this award. When I received the phone call from their class president, I was speechless. And for those of you who know me, you know that I am never speechless. My pre-camp nickname was The Mouth. It still feels so surreal to be given this honor and to be able to properly express how much Springfield and this community has shaped my life's work. I had an entirely different statement to share today, but that was before I met Dom over Zoom. She immediately brought me back to Alden Street, and I knew after 2 minutes of chatting that she was a fellow Triangle Head. Just as I explained to Dom, a Triangle Head is someone so obsessed with Springfield College that they live and breathe humanics and leadership and service to others, and the spirit, mind, body philosophy more than anything else that they do on this campus. Leadership conferences, soul-discovering workshops, spirit-inspiring group development, real-life feeling and being and loving. That's the role of Triangle Heads on campus. This group most commonly has non-sports-related majors. I double majored in elementary and special education and math and computer technology. Triangle Heads also weren't necessarily on sports teams, although I did keep up okay on intramural Frisbee sophomore year. And our pre-camp co-chair was the best pole vaulter in the league. We really leaned into the spirit side of the triangle. Like all students at Springfield, our time outside the classroom is full of being a part of something that's bigger than ourselves, much like sports and athletics, a community that this college has been known for. And although we weren't wearing pride jerseys, we did have bright green pennies that we proudly wore at East Campus with our names printed like athletes on the back. Mine said The Mouth. And the front declared, "The weird should never be feared." Being a Triangle Head is the most life-altering identity I have ever carried. My 4 years on campus were filled with more real-life feelings and relationships that I think most people are lucky enough to experience in a lifetime. What happens at Springfield College is magic. I was able to fully learn to love and be myself because I was surrounded by the most supportive, honest, loving, and inspiring people. We spent our days dreaming of ways to change the world for the better, how to love people bigger, and ways to feel life even more deeply. I owe so much of who I am to those workshops we shared together and the community we built for one another. I've also been so lucky to still have these relationships in my life. Red House reunions have now been happening every year since graduation. We've added 9 babies and 8 partners since we all lived together in a red house that is falling apart on King Street. My soul sisters are here in this room tonight too, loving me and supporting me through it all, even though I move states away and don't get to see them often. I'm so lucky to have a family who loves my Springfield College family too. Thank you to my parents for not talking me out of coming to Springfield in 2009. It was the best thing I've ever done, and thank you to my life partner for supporting all of me. I'm happy to share my home at Springfield with you too. After I graduated Springfield, I moved to upstate New York to work for the YMCA, where I continued my love for connecting with people. I was building community and inspiring others, and then I moved to Pennsylvania to continue working in youth development on a farm. My time on that farm really directed me towards my work today. I love the Y and working at summer camp because of the community, which is a huge part of my Springfield College experience. But I realized I wanted to learn more about food and farming, which has allowed me to start my own small business. I own a locally sourced, community-centered grocery store in the rural hills of Perry County, Pennsylvania, and I spend my days creating community, making food more accessible for vulnerable people, and paying our farmers equitably for their work growing the food that is good for our bodies, for our communities, and for our soil. I believe that my life's work is to connect people to one another, something I learned at Springfield, which I do now through food. Food is my favorite way to show people that they matter. It connects us all to each other in so many ways. By sharing recipes and passing bowls across the table, we are creating shared connections to one another and the people who make eating possible. Through food, we are able to celebrate farmers who are taking care of our earth, share cultural family dishes, and nourish each other, body, mind, and spirit. I know that I wouldn't be so confident in my ability to dream and lead and make positive change in my community if it wasn't for my time leaning into the triangle head identity at Springfield College. So I'd like to finish up with a quote, one that my best friend Rianne forwarded to me in an email when we were sitting next to each other in Dr. Polito's computer science class in Shoe Bemis our sophomore year. It's called The Real Reason by Brian Andreas. We embrace this poem as if it was the permission we needed to love our people, create incredible communities, and live a life full of caring for one another. I think it encapsulates all that I've learned as a triangle head at Springfield and all that I continue to dream of for my lifetime, and I hope it inspires you today. So I hope you find your real reason. This is what it says. Sorry. She's here. All right. There are things you do because they feel right, and they make no sense, and they may make no money, and it may be the real reason why we are here, to love each other and to eat each other's cooking and say it was good. So thank you for creating real experiences, growing real relationships, and helping to find the real me. Springfield College, it is an honor of a lifetime to share these thoughts with you. Thank you for everything, spirit, mind, and body, and for loving me. Keep loving one another too. Thank you.
And at this point, I'd like to invite up Dr. Dick Whiting, class of 1966, to present Lindsay with her award.
Do you think this young woman deserves a chair to sit in to be able to relax?
Lindsay, you're not supposed to make me cry when I'm doing this, please. Our next award is the Distinguished Alumni Award. The Distinguished Alumni Awards honor 2 Springfield College graduates each year for professional excellence, outstanding achievement in their field, and service to the community, state, and nation. Our first Distinguished Alumni Award will be presented by Alexis DeCastro, graduate 2025. Alexis is a graduate student in the Athletic Leadership Program. She is a graduate assistant coach for our women's basketball team and is a graduate assistant in the Office of Alumni Relations. Please come up, Alexis.
Will Alumni Council President Nate Harris, class of 2008, and Maria D'Agostino Crawford, please join me in presenting the 2024 Alumni Association Award. Will Dr. Sean Latta, graduate class of 1985, please join me at the podium. You ready? We got this. Dr. Sean Latta completed her master's degree in physical education during her time on Alden Street in 1985. She is currently a professor at Manhattan College and department chairperson of kinesiology. She also has served as chairperson and committee member for 34+ campus committees, has written 25+ peer-reviewed publications, and delivered 50+ presentations at professional conferences. There are so many reasons why Dr. Sean Latta deserves a Distinguished Alumna Award this evening. Did you know that Dr. Latta was recognized by the New York State Association for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance with the Professional of the Year Award in 2012 and the Amazing People Award in 2014? Did you also know that in 2013, she received the Presidential Award from the National Association for Girls and Women in Sports? And before receiving this award, she served as the president, a member of the board of directors, VP of the Coaching Enhancement Division, and coordinator of the Womentoring Program. What an amazing woman you are. But there's more. To really understand who Dr. Latta is and the accomplishments and honors she has received in her career thus far, it goes back when she learned inequity on her brother's Little League baseball team. During that time, girls weren't allowed to play on a Little League team, but the coach insisted and said he would ask the opposing coach to see if it would be okay for her to play. And of course, the coach said yes, because she was a girl. But was he in for a surprise? Dr. Latta was asked to pitch, and not only did she strike out the first boy, but the second and the third. And of course, both coach and parents went crazy. And since that game, she was never allowed to play Little League baseball again because she was better than the boys. And I have the game ball in my office. Yes. Her fight for social change started at Penn State University when she and 5 other teammates, along with their coach, filed a Title IX complaint through the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission because the university wouldn't sign off to allow their club soccer team play in the postseason due to the fear of the team asking for full-time varsity status the following season. And her fight didn't stop there. When she was a grad student at Springfield College, she joined her Women in Sport class, which Dr. Mimi Murray was a part of, in picketing for inclusion of women in the Basketball Hall of Fame. And if you didn't know, 3 women were inducted that year. In 2022, in celebration of the 50th anniversary of the passage of Title IX, Dr. Latta was the moderator for the Voices of the Academy webinar that featured multi-generational Springfield College women who were asked to reflect on their experience with Title IX. While being an advocate to change the world to be embracing of all people, Dr. Latta was also a college coach for 10 years. Her coaching career started here at Springfield College as a grad assistant with the women's soccer team. She coached soccer, basketball, and lacrosse at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and was the head coach for the Columbia University women's soccer team. Apart from these amazing accomplishments and fighting for opportunities for all in the world of sport, Dr. Lara has followed and is still following our humanic philosophy of leadership and service to others and for others. She has been giving back to Springfield College by being a member of the David Allen Reed Society, a supporter of the Dr. Mimi Murray Scholarship Fund, a participant and volunteer at the Springfield College Athletics Golf Classic, and an ongoing participant at our alumni and student career networking events. Dr. Lara's advice to current students is to embrace being a lifelong learner, take advantage of going to conferences, being open to new experiences, traveling, and volunteering. This is how you learn and make those connections, which will enhance your career. Dr. Sean Lara, I am proud to present you with the Distinguished Alumni Award for 2024.
I just have to say, I know that if Alexis was at Springfield when I was at Springfield, we would have been best buds. And one reason I know, look at our shoes. Go, girl. That's right, you can move in these shoes. Wow, thanks, Alexis. It has been such a pleasure to get to know you. And I know our paths will continue to cross. I told Alexis a few personal things about me, one being that I don't have a tattoo. But I told her if I did ever get a tattoo, I would get the Springfield Triangle. So, true to Alexis really listening to what I had to say, she brought 2 fake triangle tattoos. So later on, we're getting tats. It's dark up here. So I would like to, first of all, congratulate the other award winners. I mean, wow, it's an amazing group of people, just like this institution. I also would like to express thanks to the awards committee and Maria and alumni relations. I mean, they rock. Give them a hand. They're like incredible people. And of course, I have to, Springfield College is just a brilliant, brilliant institution. And it is because of the people. I'm very humbled and honored to receive the Springfield College Distinguished Alumni Award. As Springfield continues to have such an impact on both me personally and professionally. With any award, though, there are numerous people who are actually receiving the award because one never does it alone. I have been blessed in my village with unconditional love, care, and support. Thank you to the love of my life, Shandell Schulte, my sisters, Margot, Gail, and Karen, and my dear special guest friends that were on my list of precious guests. I have Kathy, MJ, Sue, Christy, and Luis. Thank you, my precious Springfield College family that's here. Oh my gosh, it's just so great. I got Coach Zettel in the back. I got Dr. Mann. I mean, it's just, there's so many of you that you're part of my family. Tremendous gratitude goes to my dear friend and mentor, Dr. Mimi Murray, who is such an inspiration and paved the way for me to continue and be a part of her legacy of social justice. It also is a wonderful opportunity to acknowledge my dad as he encouraged me to go to Springfield. Although I remember pulling off of 91, downtown Springfield, the first time my dad brought me up, and he's like, "Where is this college?" And I go, "Dad, I know it's in Springfield. It's got to be nearby." And somehow we navigated, up the road and found the college. He really was a pivot. He recognized how Springfield was such a pivotal moment in my life and contributed to fulfilling professional passion and career. Recently, one posed the question, can you name the last 3 women's soccer World Cup winners? Or can you name the last WNBA champions? I don't see any hands raised. Can you name the last 3 Olympic gold medal winners in the 100 meter? Exactly, none of us can. But I know some of you can name 3 teachers who made a difference. I see the hands. 2 people who show you unconditional love. 1 person that inspires you. Yes, the message is clear that it is relationships that matter in the end. And thus, that is who I pay homage today, to those people and all these relationships at Springfield. The relationships built here at Springfield profoundly shaped me and set a foundation of professional and personal success and happiness in spirit, mind, and body for leadership in service to others. Thank you.
Our next Distinguished Alumni Award will be presented by Mason Preble, fellow Rhode Islander, class of 24, graduate class of 26. As an undergraduate, Mason was a member of the wrestling team and served as Student Government President Association, President of the Student Government Association. He is currently in the Graduate Athletic Leadership Program. Mason?
With Dr. Betty Mann, on behalf of Robert Gelaretto, graduate class of 1993, please join me at the podium. Good evening and welcome to the presentation room and Judge Gymnasium on the pristine campus of Springfield College. My name is Mason Preble and I have the honor of introducing Robert Gelaretto, graduate class of 1993. As the recipient of the 2024 Distinguished Alumnus Award. Over the last 11 years, Rob has been the president and CEO of Consumer Protection BC, a nonprofit regulator that administers British Columbia's consumer protection laws. Rob's journey has included roles in marketing and communications, business strategy, and human resources. Following a decade of experience in the professional sports industry, he transitioned to 10 years of service within the tourism sector, including in service as president and CEO of Tourism Victoria and CEO of Travel Alberta International. I could go on and on about how successful Rob has been outside of Springfield College, but I really want to talk about the man Rob is and how Springfield College shaped him. When Rob got to Springfield as a graduate student in the early fall of 1991, he didn't know what he wanted to do with himself. It was a different experience at Springfield. He told me it was a good vibe, something we all felt when we got here. He immersed himself into the Springfield College community. He played rugby, and he got to coach one of the first women's rugby teams on campus. Dr. Betty Mann, who's here today to accept Rob's award, was a major part of Rob's journey here at Springfield. Rob lives the Humanics philosophy every day. He says, it's easy to write a check for a charity, but time, Time is the most important currency. Who gets your time? What are you doing with your time? How do you give back? Rob lives the humanics philosophy every day and pushes the philosophy onto everybody that he encounters. Now, as Rob and I got to know each other, we noticed that we were cut from the same cloth. We both love to work, and we both love to work hard. But I want to leave you with a little advice Rob left me. It's okay to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you did good today. We push ourselves so hard, it's good to give yourself a pat on the back. And it is my honor to introduce Dr. Betty Mann, who is here this evening to accept the Distinguished Alumnus Award on Rob's behalf. Dr. Mann.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Congratulations, Sean, Lindsay, to all our honorees. It's been a wonderful night. And Maria, for all your hard work, incredible what you've been able to do. I'm so proud and honored to accept this recognition on behalf of Rob. I know how much this means to him. I know how thrilled he is to be so recognized by Springfield College, but I also know how sorry he is that he is unable to be with us this evening. Just let me say that one of the great joys of my life is following the successes and the achievements of our grads. Sean, Rob, they've been so much fun to watch. Congratulations to everyone, and thank you.
Good evening, Springfield College. My name is Rob Gelaretto, and I am quite amazed and deeply humbled to be recognized with this Distinguished Alumni Award. I very much wanted to be there. I tried many different avenues to accomplish that, but just due to logistics and travel distance and things of that nature, I am unable to be there. But it does not diminish at all in the slightest just how much this means to me, this recognition. I think that Springfield College is many, many things, but in my life, it was a difference maker. It took somebody who was directionless and didn't really know who he was and gave me those things and armed me not just with academia, but with social conscience and understanding of what humanics means, which has become a part of my life since I graduated and left. It is what you really truly believe to be life-changing, which what it was for me at Springfield College. I can't go any further without recognizing one person who I believe is there tonight and graciously accepting this on my behalf, which is Dr. Betty Mann. And if you've ever met Dr. Mann, even for the slightest moment, you probably would instantly realize what a special human being that she is. This is a person that was one of my teachers and worked with me through the grad program. But more than that, she addressed me as a human. She saw things in me that I didn't see in myself and showed me what those were. And that to me is beyond a mentor. That is an instrumental person in your life that changes your direction and gives you hope and insights into the human being that you are and the human being that you can be. I have no words to express my gratitude to Dr. Mann, but I hope that she knows just what a difference that she made in my life, and I know for a fact in the lives of hundreds, if not thousands of others. So thank you, Dr. Mann, for being who you are from the first day that I met you to today, and extremely gracious. The only other message I wanted to leave with you today is that these recognitions are wonderful things, and I'm so blessed and happy to, again, be receiving this award. But it made me think as well of all the people in our lives that don't get recognition that probably deserve it. People that you have brief encounters with, or people that put a smile on your face, or people that love you unconditionally, or people that inspire you to do things, people that are there to listen, to give you a hug, to make a difference in your life in a massive way or in a very small way. I think all those people are deserving of recognition, and I invite you as you go through your life to think about the people in your life that deserve some recognition and give it to them. Let them know how important and special they are, and let them know just how it matters that we all as human beings take care of one another, inspire one another, listen to one another, and frankly just love one another. So thank you again so much, And as I say goodbye to you from beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, I wanted to leave you with a snippet of a video which shows one of the events that we did where I work at Consumer Protection, British Columbia, to give you a little bit of an insight into what I learned at Springfield College and how it's manifested itself in some of the things that I was most fortunate to be able to lead. So with that, I'll give you this video. Thank you so much again. I appreciate it so very, very much, and I wish you all a wonderful evening, and take good care.
Wow, that was terrific. All right, our next award winner. Established in March of 2021, our Hall of Alumni of Color Achievers inducted its inaugural class of 6 members 3 years ago. Following that first year, one member who is minimally 15 years post-graduation will be inducted annually. This honor recognizes the outstanding achievements of Springfield College alumni in color who reflect and express a commitment to humanics and the Springfield College ideals through professional excellence and outstanding service to others. Unlike our other Alumni Association honors, alumni may be inducted into the Hall of Achievers posthumously. Our 2024 inductee will be presented by, and I hope I don't mess your name, honey, Kalaba Kibwe, 26, and B. Nelia Freya, 27. Kalaba is a health sciences major, a resident assistant, and serves on the e-board for Black Student Union. An exercise science student, B is involved with the Cultural Connections program on campus. Please come up to the podium.
Will Loretta Newman, on behalf of her husband, Daniel Smith, class of 1960, along with Dan's children, D. Robert Smith Jr. and April Matong, please join me at the podium.
It is with great honor that we induct Daniel R. Smith Sr., class of 1960, into the Hall of Alumni of Color Achievers. A true portrayal of the magnificence that Springfield College produces, Daniel lived a remarkable life, deeply rooted in Springfield's humanics philosophy and dedicated to social justice, healthcare, and education. Born to a father who was among the last enslaved during the Civil War, Dan faced profound challenges, becoming the only black student in his high school. His journey led him to Springfield College, where he excelled as a student athlete and student body president. Throughout his life, Dan's commitment to community and justice left an unforgettable mark on our society. Today, we celebrate his legacy and the profound impact he made on countless lives.
He never let the state of the country hold him back, particularly because of his father's insistence and belief that he would succeed. No matter where he was, he worked for the betterment of those around him. Whether it be his work as a medical technician in the Army during the Korean War, his time as a social worker, or his attendance on the 3rd Selma to Montgomery March with Martin Luther King Jr. His role as an activist even extended worldwide as he directed international health programs in sub-Saharan Africa. He has given back to Springfield on several occasions, whether it be his place as a trustee, his membership in the 1885 Giving Society, or his presence at a panel discussion dedicated to the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, which he witnessed firsthand. Another significant part of Dan Smith's life was his marriage to Loretta Newman, who is here with us today. They shared a strong bond over the both of them having such a strong passion for service and being active in so many different areas throughout their lives. One of their most fond memories was canvassing together during multiple presidential campaigns. Dan Smith took great pride in all the different opportunities that he was offered in his life. He was especially proud of his time spent here at Springfield College. He was also proud of his work with the Office of Economic Opportunity and the National Area Health Education Center organization, where he helped establish local health centers throughout the United States. Dan Smith's life and achievements stretch far beyond what I've been able to mention, and there's no question that his legacy deserves to be celebrated.
Daniel's journey began with humble beginnings, navigating a world without a father. Yet he transformed those challenges into stepping stones for his own family. Daniel dedicated himself to their growth, always present at their events, offering genuine support and encouragement. He inspired his family to keep moving forward, no matter the detours. He believed that life was filled with challenges, not obstacles. He often reminded his children of a quote, "I cried because I had no shoes until I saw a man who had no feet." This powerful lesson taught them and us about preaching gratitude and perspective in the face of adversity, and to be thankful for what you have in your situation. Daniel wore his achievements with pride, from his class rank in 1960 to the plaque that marked his role as Springfield Student Body President. These symbols weren't just accolades, they represented his commitment to excellence and community service. He was an active participant in the civil rights movement and passionately cared for animals, children, and the elderly, showing testament to his belief in helping others. He showed us all that small acts of kindness can have a profound impact on society. Let us remember Daniel Smith not just for his accomplishments, but for the love he poured into his family and community. He was a guiding light, and his spirit will forever inspire us to embrace life and uplift those around us. We are proud to induct Daniel Smith, class of 1960, into the Hall of Alumni of Color Achievers.
Well, good evening, and I do want to point out that both Dan and I had previous marriages. I was born and raised in Oklahoma, and Dan was in Connecticut, and at the time we were married in 1960, first married in 1965, both of us at the same year, the same month. We could not have been married together because at the time the anti-miscegenation laws were still in place in many places, including in Oklahoma. Connecticut didn't have that, so we could have probably gotten married in Connecticut. But at any rate, I wanted to say how much we always felt a special bonding because of that aspect of our lives. I want to thank Kalaba Kibwe. And like the others, I had a Zoom with him and talked with him, and it was a joy. Also, thanks, President Cooper. You've been wonderful, and I am just so proud to know you and pleased to know you. And Maria Crawford, of course, everybody's been saying how great you are, and she deserves every bit of greatness that we can head her way. But also Jeffrey Monceau. Where is Jeffrey Monceau? He was here in the back somewhere, the archivist. and Jim Bates with the Development Office. Is Jim here? I saw him earlier. There he is in the back. There's Jim. I am truly honored to be here this evening to acknowledge on Dan's behalf this wonderful award. I knew he would have been extremely pleased and proud to be included in the Hall of Alumni of Color Achievers in Springfield College, a place he loved so much. As for me, I've been fortunate to come with Dan to many reunions and other Springfield College events for for over 20 years. We often came here from our home in Washington, D.C., and I came to love Springfield too. This morning, we had a gift agreement signing for my donation to Springfield of Dan's important papers, his photographs, and other items relating to his incredible life. There was an exhibit of them arranged again by the archivist, Jeff Monceau, and I hope that there are many opportunities for Jeff to show not just Dan's materials from his collection, but others. It's an important part of the history of Springfield, and the accomplishments of these people that you're seeing tonight and hearing about is so important. I hope that you will get some of their papers and items of their lives as well. The timing of this award, as Charisse mentioned, is very appropriate because Dan did die 2 years ago today, October 19th, 2022, ending an amazing life of courage and kindness, hard work, and major accomplishments. He was truly a remarkable man. Dan's life was, as was noted earlier, was especially notable given the hardships he endured in his childhood. He was one of the last men known to have been the son of a man born into slavery during the Civil War. His father, Abram Smith, was born in 1863. He was 70 years old when Dan was born in Winsted, Connecticut. Abram died from an auto accident when Dan was only 6 years old. He left Dan's mother with 6 children in abject poverty, which Dan later worked his way out of starting in high school. He worked 10 hours a day when he was in high school. Afterwards, he served in the Army during the Korean War, then attended and graduated from Springfield College. Dan went on to become a social worker in Connecticut and drove down with a friend to Washington, D.C. To see Martin Luther King give his I Have a Dream speech. He ended up in Alabama leading a civil rights program, then went to Washington, D.C. to work with the Office of Economic Opportunity, helping to set up community health centers all over the country. And by the way, that AHEC program that he set up at the NIH, and for which he suffered much discrimination in running the program, it was extremely successful, and it is still successful today. Suffice that Dan became internationally famous during the last decade of his life in newspapers and magazine articles, radio shows, and television interviews all over the world. His death has been very hard, and as the loss of any loved one would be. It's just that he had special qualities that will always be missed. And I also want to mention, is Marty Dobro here? There's Marty in the back, Martin, the communications professor. Martin wrote this incredible article about Dan that was on an internet program, medium.com. I never heard of it, but there was a writer for the Washington Post who did and saw it and asked if she could do asked her boss, she could write an article too. And they said, oh, I saw the one that Marty had done. They said, of course. So she did it. Well, it was syndicated, and it was syndicated all over the country, but then it was picked up by all these other countries. And I'm saying England and Spain and Germany and even the Netherlands, although I often point out I wish that was written in English because I don't read Dutch. But at any rate, his death has been very hard, as the loss of anyone who's well-loved would be. It's just that he had special qualities that will always be missed. That said, I want to especially thank again President Cooper, who came all the way down to Washington, D.C. to attend Dan's funeral. I was surprised, moved, and very grateful to see her there. Shortly, you will meet Dan's children, April and Rob. Also here this evening is Dan's best friend and roommate from Springfield College, Bill Babcock and his daughter Rachel, and they're way in the back. Would you stand up? Come on. Bill. They have stayed close friends all these years. We also have his niece, Margaret Reed, is in the back next to Bill. Put your hand up, Margaret. She's shy. And we have his nephew, Todd Reed, is over here on the row where we are. So put your hand up, too. And of course, we have April's husband, Andrew Motaung. Where's Andrew? Put your hand up. Thank you. Stories from Dan's life are contained in his memoir, Son of a Slave, A Black Man's Journey in White America. And it's here, and it's available for sale in the bookstore here, or you can buy it on Amazon. It's wonderful. It says, and I have to say this, among Dan's adventures, there's a whole chapter about his experiences here at Springfield, so I think you would enjoy them very much. The book is, as I said, available here. I hope you will read it. I know you will enjoy it. Thank you.
Good evening. Members of Springfield College Alumni Association, honorees, and distinguished guests. My brother and I are honored to be standing here to represent our father, Daniel Smith, as he is posthumously inducted as a member of the Hall of Alumni of Color Achievers. Our father always has had a great love and respect for his alma mater, and I know if he were here today, he would not only be honored to have been nominated for this induction, but also humbled as he knew the importance of such an achievement. So on behalf of my father, we would like to thank the Alumni Association for this nomination. Well, I know this program is intended to highlight the remarkable and influential lifetime achievements of Daniel Smith, the scholar, Daniel Smith, civil rights worker, and Daniel Smith, healthcare professional. However, I want to highlight and speak to what I believe is his most important achievement, Daniel Smith, the father. My name is April Smith Motaung. I am Daniel Smith's daughter. You might ask, why the emphasis on Smith? Well, because of my father, the name Smith has much more meaning to me besides just my last name. My father instilled in my brother and me that we were Smiths. Many times throughout my life, he'd say, "You are Smith." What did that mean? Being a Smith meant never giving up. My dad told me that no matter what, I should never give up. Regardless of the challenges or hurdles that I may have encountered on this path of life, without his advice and mentoring, I probably would have never succeeded in many of the areas of achievement that I have been so fortunate to experience. Daniel Smith, the father, was a man whose influence and guidance through his own life experiences showed me that perseverance was paramount. He'd say, "In life, there are no obstacles, only challenges." These are words that I have lived by, and I attribute much of my success in life to him. Daniel Smith was an amazing man who accomplished many great things in life, but he was first and foremost an amazing father and role model to me, and also my brother. Thank you.
Oh boy, all this wonderful stuff about my dad. I'm going to keep it short. Mary Beth, I'd like to thank you, Mary Beth. Maria, Sharice, Jeffrey, thank you for the wonderful, the wonderful display earlier today. I'm going to start off with a scene from The Godfather. I'm going to keep it short. There's a scene in the beginning of the movie Marlon Brando and Robert Duvall are in his private study. Sonny comes in, played by James Caan. When Sonny comes in, Marlon Brando says, "You spend time with your family?" And reluctantly, James Caan says, "Sure I do." Marlon Brando says, "Good, because any man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man." I wasn't going to get choked up, but my dad's a real man. He is a gentleman, or has, as he described himself, a rugged gentleman. He had a firm handshake with a warm, inviting smile, and he was a man of etiquette. That was paramount in our house. A man of class, values, morals, character, determination, hard work, and last but not least, he was a Springfield man. This college shaped him to be of service, to help people, those less fortunate, and to be a leader. His family and his kids were the most important things to him. He gave us his time, his love. I honestly wouldn't be the man I am today without him. I strive to be like him each and every day of my life. God's still working on me, but I'm getting there. And I'm gonna end with a quick story. My dad always looked at the positive side of life. And one time I remember I was in sort of a negative space, and he told me the story when he first went down to Lowndes County in his Hillman. And he told me he went down there, and he was coming through a town before Lowndes County, and he passed this gas station with 4 or 5 white guys sitting in front, white beaters, chewing tobacco, usual suspects, whatever. So he passed by there, he was going up the hill, and his car started sputtering, and it stopped. So he had a decision to make. So he managed to turn the car around, and he coasted down the hill into the gas station, and he jumped out, and he said, "Hi, gentlemen, I'm Dan Smith. Could you help me with my car? It seems to be having problems." And they looked at him, and then they jumped up, they said, "Sure." They fixed it, and they didn't even charge him, and off my dad went to start his journey down in Lowndes County. So my dad always challenged me. So I say this story to challenge all of you all here, is to, with this world getting crazier and crazier and nastier, just try to see the good in everything. Like my father would say, try to help people, smile at people, be kind to people, and help those less fortunate. And like my sister said, he would always say, life has no obstacles, only challenges. He always said, one man can make a difference. I believe that then, and I believe it now. And when life gets hard, you feel you can't make it, take a deep breath, ground yourself, and just picture my dad whispering in your ears, state of mind, keep moving forward. Thank you.
All right, if you're not inspired. All right, our next presentations. The Tarbell Medallion is Springfield College's way of saying thank you from the bottom of our hearts for outstanding long-term and various services to the college by an individual who graduated more than 20 years ago. This evening, we are presenting both the 2024 and 2023 Tarbell Medallion. The 2024 Tarbell Medallion will be presented by Ryan Jeffers, class of 2025, a senior physical education student and pre-camp leader.
Pam Green Pearson, we are proud to, sorry folks, not the right one. Pam Green Pearson, class of 1968, graduate class of 1999, will you please join me at the podium? I was lucky enough to get the chance to sit down with Pam and learn about her story and what she had to say about her career as an educator, as well as her love for Springfield College. And after talking with her, I can truly understand why she was chosen to receive the Tarbell Medallion. Pam fell in love with Springfield College as a junior in high school, and that love for the school has continued during and after her time in college. Since her graduation, Pam has consistently been a part of the Springfield College community. She stayed connected as a longtime volunteer, sharing her time as a part of her class reunion committee, a local association executive committee, alumni council volunteer, various alumni and student career networking events, welcoming new students both in person and by writing letters to them. Pam's mission of supporting philanthropic efforts have been evident as she has made a financial gift to Springfield College every year since 1968 and is a proud member of the David Allen Reed Society. She gives her time to help observe students learning to become teachers and helps them be the best educators possible. And I'm hoping that I'll be lucky enough to have her be my supervisor next semester. Pam often talks about the influence that Diane Potter had on her while she was a student, with her constant encouragement and being a part of classes, and as well as her improvement as an up-and-coming educator. Pam described Springfield College as a family, and her coaches and professors were a part of that. She said the reason why she still supervises student teachers is because she wants to give them the enthusiasm that she received from her professors while she was at school. Pam and I talked about the humanics philosophy and what that means to her. She described it as a way of life, saying it's what you get when you're working with a total group of people. It incorporates everything that Springfield College stands for, spirit, mind, body, as well as leadership and service to others. When I asked her what advice she would give to current students and young alums, she said to give back whenever possible to the school, but also to others. We agreed that there's a special kind of person that goes to Springfield College. And it's hard to nail it on the head, but when you see one, you just know. They're caring, they're full of life, and they want to help others as much as possible. Springfield people take the humanics philosophy and they run with it, and I truly believe that Pam is a perfect example of this. I'd like to personally thank Pam for giving me the opportunity to talk with her and learn about her story and all the wonderful things that she's done. And I would like to end on something that Pam said that really stuck with me. If you can teach anything. So, Pam Green Pearson, we are proud to present you with the 2024 Tarbell Medallion.
Thank you, Ryan. Is that supposed to be up here?
Now does it work?
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. It was a pleasure getting to know him, too, and I certainly hope I will get a chance to supervise him when spring comes. Good evening, Springfield College, and I have to put my glasses on because even though I made this font 24, it's dark up here. That's a little better. Thank you, Maria and Faith and the Alumni Office for all the help you gave me coming into this. I am humbled and honored to be here this evening with the true sons and daughters of Springfield College. Those receiving awards tonight, I congratulate you and all the others that have gotten awards, but everybody else in here who is a true Springfield son or daughter. Who knew that when I met one of my first second grade classes in 1968, that one of my students was a young lady, Tammy Cadess, who would later become the alumni director of our college, who I was privileged to work with for 32 of the 56 years that I have had the joy of volunteering for the Alumni Association at open houses, class reunions, and on various committees. And yes, this jacket was 1964. And it still fits. I can't move, but it still fits. I tell you this because it underlines what a true family we are at Springfield. All of us share the unbreakable bond that is in our DNA, Springfield's DNA. Our strength is fueled by our humanics philosophy, spirit, mind, and body. And as I stand here tonight, I still can't believe that I am being honored for something that comes as naturally to me as breathing. I invite everyone here to join me in doubling their efforts to support our alma mater that means so much to so many so that Springfield College remains strong for future generations. Before I end tonight, I would like to express my thanks for those who are in attendance here tonight to support me. My daughter Sarah, who is a graduate class of 2004, 2005 in physical therapy, and her husband Bruce. Also classmates, Sue Crivello Brewer, who came from California, Judy Pyle from Long Island, Paula Hamada Summit from Rochester, Charlie Redmond, John Hababney and his wife, and others in here that I didn't know were coming. Also, two of my friends from my church group, Pam Wilkins and Tricia Welch, thank you all for coming. One of my mentors, Diane Potter, formerly professor and friend, who I have enjoyed serving with on many alumni committees and also taught here when she was here. Every time I set foot in a gymnasium, I try to emulate Diane, and she is just a special friend. Also, I'd like to thank my daughter Robin, who was unable to attend here tonight. Lastly, a thank you to my dear late husband Doug, who was a tireless supporter of my volunteer efforts at Springfield College. And he didn't realize what a special place this was until he was able to work with the basketball team here at Springfield. He did not graduate from here, but after working with the basketball team, he agreed with me that this is a special place and the students are special. So thank you for honoring me. I'm truly humbled by the honor.
And now, the 2023 Tarbell Medallion will be presented by Mark Knopfrey, class of 23, graduate 25, currently a graduate assistant coach for our baseball team. Mark received his undergrad degree in movement and sports studies and is currently in the athletic leadership graduate program. Mark?
Kurt Ashman, class of 1971, please join me at the podium. Good evening. I'm honored to have been chosen to represent our team and introduce Mr. Kurt Ashman for his award. Kurt graduated from Springfield College, where he played for a nationally ranked baseball team, helping them advance the Division II College World Series in 1970. He was first drafted by the Chicago White Sox in 1967, but stayed and was eventually drafted again in 1970 by the Chicago Cubs, where he signed his professional contract. Since then, Kurt has long given back to Springfield College and the community. His deep passion for serving others has always been a staple in his life. One of Kurt's many achievements was serving as a catalyst for the partnership between the college and the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation in the renovation of Archie Allen Baseball Field and the construction of an adaptive field within the complex named Ashman Family Field. For 6 years, Kurt served on the Springfield College Board of Trustees and for 2 years a member of the Alumni Council. In his many trips back to Springfield College, he continues to share his knowledge and service to others. His biggest piece of advice is to always be yourself. Aside from his many contributions to Springfield, Kurt has almost 45 years of experience as a marketing and resource development professional. Before retiring in the opening of his consulting firm, he served as the Chief Marketing and Development Officer for the Boys and Girls Club of America, where he supervised the staff that managed Boys and Girls Club's fundraising and marketing operations nationwide. Kurt then put his love for sports and coaching onto paper, where he authored 2 published books called Coaching Kids to Play Baseball and Softball, as well as Coaching Kids to Play Soccer. His career has spanned many years working in the nonprofit sector. He is currently the executive director of a weekly newspaper, website, newsletter in Loudoun County, Virginia. Kurt now lives in Leesburg, Virginia with his wife Anna, to which they have 3 children and 3 grandchildren. Kurt Ashman, we are proud to present you with the 2023 Tarbell Medallion.
That was the baseball secret handshake. Except I'm too old to remember the secret handshake. I want to say thank you again to the college. I always do. You must be out of honorees. And I so appreciate the fact that someone's recognized a little bit of something that's happened in my life. I also want to, of course, thank my beautiful wife, Anna, who we were not here last year because Anna was battling cancer for a second time. And I'm happy to tell you she beat it. Thank you, Mark, for that nice introduction. I so appreciate it. I'd also like you to maybe set aside a thought for another old baseball player, Shorty Dixon. Shorty's name is George, really. Shorty still holds the record for the most wins at Springfield College, and he graduated in 1970, 22 wins. Shorty is also battling cancer, so let's say a prayer for Shorty. You know, when Mark asked, and I got a call from somebody from the Springfield student about the things that you get out of being at a college and get out of being here, I began to realize that at the earliest point of my contact with this college, at the heart of what I experienced from people was a sense of compassion. Compassion. We don't talk about that enough at Springfield College. We don't recruit enough with that at Springfield College. Because the truth of the matter is, you can take humanics philosophy and you can take spirit, mind, and body. But if you don't do something with it, these are words. And compassion means we see a need and we do something about it. And it literally is what this place is all about. One of my Buddhist teachers defined it this way. He said, compassion means to understand others people's pain, to cultivate a deep intention to help them, and then translate that into action. Every college in the world teaches kids to serve and care about others. The heart of this joint is that we not only tell them to teach them how to understand it and feel it, we send them out and tell them do something about it. Don't just talk about it, do something about it. Compassion. And I honestly believe compassion could literally be the fourth leg of the triangle. Now, I took test and measurements from Sherry Shaw. Remember, you either know it or you don't. So I know 4 legs would not be a triangle. It would be a square or a rectangle. But I still really believe that we need to talk more about the compassion that Springfield College gives to the rest of the world, through our individual students, through the school itself. Let me tell you 17 quick stories. Only 3. When I came up here for my interview, this is the only place I wanted to go. I was a jock. Springfield College was the place to go. It was the #1 physical education school in the country. Might still be, but at that time it was. This is the only place I wanted to go. My parents brought me up here and had the interview over in the Alumni Hall. And the interview was done by Dean Lammers. Tammy, what was Dean's first name? Bill Lammers. Bill Lammers. And Bill came out from the interview, and he stood with my parents, and he said to them, if you can tell me he's got a B average, I'll take him right now. My father said, well. All right, C+. You tell me he's got a C average, well. And Bill Lammers looked at me and he said, I'll tell you what, you get all A's your first semester as a senior in high school and I'll take you. That was compassion in action. He knew I wanted to come here. He knew baseball meant so much to me. And this was a baseball school. My sophomore year, I got sick, ulcers. And Professor Sims, what was his first name, Tammy? Ed Sims. We called him Duke, by the way. You know why? The Los Angeles Angels had a catcher named Duke Sims. So we called him Duke. I got really sick, and I was going to have to drop out, which meant I was going to not be able to play baseball. And he sat down with me, and he worked me through the semester personally. He took me through what I had to do to get a grade in that course personally. He showed compassion because he knew how important baseball was to me. And then the last one's a funny one that the person who did it denied to the day he died. When I got released by the Cubs in spring training in 1971, I came back to Springfield for the summer term to finish. And I needed to get a certain number of courses done because I had a job in September. And I finished everything, and I had a couple of different short classes that they kind of constructed for me so I could get my degree. And I walked over to the registrars to get the little piece of paper. In those days, all file cards, right? File cards like that. And the woman's going through the file cards, and she goes, did you drop water stunts and diving as a freshman? By the way, we called it water stunts and drowning. Yeah, I think I did. It was a thing about chlorine and being able to see the baseball. Now, I couldn't hit anyway, so it didn't matter that I didn't take the class. But I didn't have my degree done for that one single skills class. And I said, what do I do now? She said, well, I'll tell you what she said. She suggested I go down to the natatorium and talk to Charlie Smith. Now, Charlie, who you all know much better than I, wasn't exactly jovial. So when I went down to Charlie and said, Charlie, I got a problem. And he said, yeah, you got a big problem. He said, can you swim? I said, yeah, I can swim. So he reached into a box of old bathing suits and threw one at me and said, let me see you swim across the pool. Swim across the pool. Jump off the, whatever that thing used to be called. Scared the hell out of all of us. And he said, I'll give you a C. And that's how I got out of Springfield. Now, to the day Charlie died, he denied it and denied it and denied it. He said, I would never have done that. There's no chance in the world. He did it. That's how I got out. And what is that? Compassion, right? Compassion. So I really do want to talk about it as something we need to talk more about. Let me just tell you a couple of other stories. With compassion comes courage. And courage sometimes supports compassion. And courage sometimes makes compassion work. When Roger and Linda Moffett, how long ago was it, Mary Beth, that the fellowship started? 5 or 6 years ago. We've all been complaining our whole lives, even back to 1971. You remember that? About the lack of coaches of color at Springfield College. We all whined about it and whined about it. And then Roger Moffett and Linda Moffett did something about it. They created the Moffett Fellowship. And we went from 0 coaches of color to 3 now varsity coaches of color and 1 assistant coach of color. Now that's 4 people, but it's started from 0. And so let me tell you where that came from. Compassion. Roger had compassion for the students of color here who never saw a coach who looked anything like them. And he did something about it. And then in that same kind of strain of thought, after the George Floyd murder, Mary Beth Cooper had compassion for students of color and all of the students and people of color. And she turned this college around on the issues of social justice in a very short period of time. And if you think it didn't take courage to do that, she took a lot of hits for that. And we did it. And I felt really proud of how strong we responded in that very, very difficult period of time in our lives. And that's compassion coupled with courage. All right, so what does this all mean? I want the triangle to become a square. Let me just thank a couple of folks who are here as well. I know Gary Blanchette schlepped all the way from Florida up here, and I appreciate your being here. And Sue London, I know you're here. And I don't know if Bridget's here. Did Bridget come today? I don't know if Bridget was here today. But there's so many people who I really appreciate your being here. And let me finish and end with this. one thing that Springfield College is known for, the one thing that Springfield College shows the world is that we have giants here who have stayed here. Giants. And some of them have been named. I'm going to get in trouble by naming some, right? Diane Potter, Mimi Murray, and Doug Coop, and Greg Kozlowski, and Marty Dobrow, and Charlie Redmond. These are all giants in their own industry, and they don't go anywhere. They stay here. And the public might say, that's not good. We need to get new blood in here. Like hell we do. We don't need to get new blood. Because at the heart of everything these people do is their compassion for people. And that compassion shows in their work. And they are not going to give it up, no matter what. And the last person I want to talk about with compassion, who has been received well and gotten many accolades, I'm sure. But we're going to do it again right here, is that the one person whose compassion was on her sleeve and forever took care of everything we ever needed was Tammy Cadet-Lucy. Tammy, you were, I don't know, where are you? Where'd you go? Oh, there she is. She's in the back. You're always there. And I had a special relationship with Tammy because I used to MC this, and I drove the woman nuts. She would hand me the script, and I'd say, yeah, well, you know I ain't going to use that, so what do you want to do from there? Tammy, we love you, we appreciate you, we thank you. I personally do, especially. So thank you very much, Springfield College. I so appreciate it. Let me leave you with a couple of words in these very, very difficult times. And if you think you're the only one suffering in these difficult times, we all are. And there's a quote that I can't even remember the name of the person who said it, that I love a lot and that Anna makes me use at the end of every speech, or at least sometimes when I'm preaching in a church. And it goes like this. Do not be dismayed at the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended. Not with time, but with intention. So live intentionally, live compassionately, love extravagantly, because the broken world waits in the darkness for the light. Thank you very much.
Maria, I'm going a little off script. I have the boss's permission here. Kirk could not have introduced us better. We have a special recognition today. Someone who has had a tremendous impact on Springfield College, Tammy Cadet-Lucy. Please come join me, your friend of 45 years plus, to the podium. But this is not it. The flowers aren't it.
Okay.
All right? Tammy was the first woman, youngest appointed, and longest serving alumni director in college history. Having served her alma mater for nearly 4 decades, she's been a part of this campus and the lives of countless alumni, faculty, staff, students, and families throughout her time. Tammy's focus has always been on engaging students and alumni at Springfield College in support of each other throughout their time on campus. On a personal note, we were best friends from the moment we met. We taught figure skating in town together. We shared an anatomy and physiology class, and every time I strayed away from the school, she roped me right back in and said, nope, I need you for this, and I am eternally grateful, my friend. Luckily, we are still great friends, and we see each other often. In recognition of Tammy, her legacy, alumni friends, they have all contributed to establish the Tammy Cadet Lucy Scholarship that ensures your name in perpetuity. We are grateful for your service, ongoing support, and look forward to generations receiving your scholarship.
Thank you so much.
So there you go.
So much. Thank you.
All right. Now, I'd like the six nominees and their escorts to all come to the front of the room. We're going to get a quick picture, and then we'll finish up with the program. Honorees, your fellow alumni, and the entire Springfield College community, thank you for outstanding accomplishments and contributions. We're exceedingly proud of you, and we thank you sincerely for allowing us to honor you today. Your significant contributions to others, your tireless dedication to our alma mater, and your excellence in the workplace are living examples of the teaching of this institution and its unique humanics philosophy and compassion. As we wrap up this special evening, thank you again for our sponsor, Loomis Lakeside at Reed's Landing. And now, as our custom, we will close with the singing of the alma mater. Please rise. The words may be found in the back of your program. Welcome, Springfield College's Alden Street a cappella group, who will now join me near the podium and lead us in song. Thank you to all who will be here this evening. Our celebration will now continue at the Springfield College Museum, located on the lower level. Thank you so much. Thank you.